All right, YouTube, what is up? Happy New Year and hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm gonna be walking through everything I did in 2024, the mistakes I made, the lessons I learned, and the things that I did right and did well. So you can take them and use them and not make the mistakes that I did. Last year was the first year that our current coaching business did over $1 million a year. The year before we did a couple 100K months, but not having consistent 100K months. So this past year was the first year we had anywhere from 100 to 150K in cash collected every month. And I just want to walk you guys through the lessons I learned along the way because there's a lot, okay? Now, before I jump into this, as you guys can see, I am traveling. I'm in an Airbnb right now. So if you hear the dogs bark, you hear the door open, or something crazy happens in here, bear with me. I'm going to get back to my office on Saturday, and I can't wait. I miss my dual monitors. I miss my whiteboard. I miss just being able to push record and go. But this one's going to be fun. It's going to be a different style of video. Yeah, let me know if you like this too. It's kind of cool. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, so what I want to start with here is I want to share with you guys my primary and secondary goals and share with you guys some numbers to show you the change and the growth we've experienced over the past year. In 2024, our primary goal for the year was revenue. Okay, revenue is the lifeline of the business. We've got to make money to service more people, help more people, and change lives. So for us, again, this is our first year hitting $1 million in revenue and collected cash. So the really main goal was just, can we do this consistently? Which we did. And our secondary goal for the year was to grow my brand, increasing subscribers and followers, etc. Because if we do a good job of nurturing them, that too will turn into revenue, clients, and changing more lives. Okay, now here are some numbers that reflect the progress we made in those areas. In 2024, we made 1.35 million in revenue, and the year before that, we did 750,000. So close, that's like 40-ish% increase in top line revenue. Pretty solid. Happy with that. And then what I paid myself, I think it's important just so you guys know what to pay yourself, etc. I paid myself as a W-2 employee $90,000 a year. And then I had about $300,000 in profit. And I wrote down here, this is actually very similar to my first year when I did 750K. So you might be like, wow, that's like, you went from like 50% margins to right here, 20 to 30% margins. That doesn't look very good. It is, okay? Let me kind of like walk this through because I noticed this. I went into my P&L and reviewed my finances from the year before. I was like, wow, I made about the same amount of money last year and had a way smaller business. It was way more efficient. What's going on? And what I didn't take into consideration is that I got a lot more free time this year. So I made the same amount of money, maybe a little bit more, but I had a team that was supporting my clients for me. I had a team that was doing all sales for me. So sales and fulfillment. And I also started investing in a lot of R&D for marketing. So I was still able to make the same amount of money, even though the top line was the same, but I had a lot more free time. My lifestyle was better. I went on an all-inclusive trip to, not all-inclusive, I mean, kind of with credit cards, but I went to a trip to Italy. And every 2 to 3 months, we went on a big trip together and my business ran without me. So that's a huge win for me, okay? And again, the reason for that is I built a team. Right now we have 7 core team members, and the year before that there was just 4. So our team is almost doubled in size, and I've got a lot more free time back. And here's just one of the Stripe screenshots to just show you guys proof with this. So this is from January 1 to today. This was last week, and you can see we're at 1.3 million here and 728,000 the previous year. This is one of our Stripe accounts. We have a separate Stripe account for any like buy now, pay later options with a firm. And we also use PayPal. So it doesn't include everything, but it's close enough. Okay, so again, those are our primary goals. Our secondary goals were growing the brand. And here are the changes we made just over the year. We went from 10,000 Instagram followers to 16,500. And I can just pull this up over here to show that to you. So we gained about 7,000 follows over the year. You know, I also get some unsubscribes, unfollows too. So it's around 10,000, but we gained 7,000 followers who pushed the follow button in a year. Pretty awesome. And then YouTube subscribers, man, this is where I'm really proud of. If you guys are watching this now, this is a channel that I've devoted a lot of my time and energy, and I actually love it. It's so much more fun for me to create content like this. And we started the year at 854 subscribers, and we've gained over 2,000 subscribers in a year. This is like the second year of me actually filming YouTube videos. So you'll probably see as I keep growing, more of my time and energy is going to be going to YouTube because I have fun doing it. And I believe in creating free content and giving the best stuff away. So if you guys have seen my channel, you've gone through my content, my goal is to make my YouTube content honestly better than a lot of people's paid mastermind contents. Yeah, courses. This is Jax, by the way. This is my girlfriend's dog. You a good boy? He's a good boy. All right. And then social growth on top of that is email list. At the start of the year, I was just under 5,000 subscribers on my email list, and I finished the year at 11,528. Now, this is good because this is my middle of funnel, right? Top of funnel is people who see my content, see my ads. I mean, even subscribers and followers, I'd say, are more like top of funnel. People who are actually interested in what I have, right, is going to be more of the email list because they're at least giving me their phone number and email. Everybody on here is giving me their phone number. Okay, so I've gotten that many phone numbers and emails for resources that I have. So really cool, middle of the funnel there, big growth. Cool. So those are the metrics for the two things of growth that I experienced. And what I want to do next is I want to go quarter by quarter and talk about the projects that I worked on, again, mistakes I made, lessons I learned along the way. So there's 4 quarters in a year. We'll go through each of them and I'll tell you the lessons I learned in each. Okay, so Q1, January through March, I was actually experiencing a lot of burnout at this time. And I think it's important to share because, I mean, look, guys, like on social media, you only see the good stuff, right? You don't see the mindset stuff that's going on, this the stuff that was behind the scenes. And in Q1, I was experiencing a lot of burnout. In 2023, we grew from the start of the year doing like 20, 30K a month to 100K a month in less than 10 months. So like we grew from like zero when we started and launched 200K months really fast. As you guys saw above up here too, is that I only had like 4 team members, but for most of 2023, none of them were really full time. So it was just a lot of me working my face off, right? Like posting, making ads, running the ads, doing sales calls, sending emails, making YouTube videos. It was just a lot. And Q1, I was like, we need more leads, we need more sales. So I doubled the ad budget and I found myself testing a lot of variables in the ad account, which is like testing new audiences, new creatives. I was making ads weekly. And on top of that, with organic, I was doing more stuff there too, right? I was doing a masterclass once a month. And I had a content team, like a videographer that would come in, and he would come in once a month. We'd do 20 videos. And honestly, I did not look forward to creating more content. And content is such a big piece in this online space of building trust and relationships and etc. And I didn't want to do it because I was so burnt out from all of the things. And what I noticed was that even though I was doing all this stuff, right, the marketing efforts weren't actually leading to clients. And I kind of caught myself because, like, if you guys have watched my video sales letter, I talk about this. I talk about it, right? I'm like, dude, you just need one process, one person, one process, one problem, and one marketing system or client acquisition system. And once I had one system that was working, I didn't even take my own advice. I started becoming more complex. I was like, cool, I'm gonna start posting over here. I'm posting over here. And I'm gonna test this, more ads. And I didn't take my own advice. And it was like, dude, if you were coaching a client, what would you tell them to do? Like, stop, you're burning yourself out. So big lesson for Q1 is that more is not better, okay? More is not better. When it comes to ad testing, what I started doing, which felt so much better, was I started looking at the winning ads I had. What were the hooks that I used? What was the format? What was the promise? And I made more ads like that. I even just relaunched some of the same exact ones. Or I'd change it. If it was like a black background, I'd change it to a white background. Big fan of the Twitter ads. If you guys have seen my content, that's what I'm talking about. I'd turn the same Twitter style ad into an ad that looks like it was written on a notes app. Or I'd take the same copy that was on the Twitter ad, I'd send it to a graphic designer and say, hey, make something look good. Same copy, add a photo of me in there, let's run it. And that freed up so much of my time, and those things actually worked better than me trying to make new video ads. That's another thing that I'll mention here before I keep going, is that I actually found that image ads worked better for my brand. And I kept trying video ads because, the gurus tell me, hey, yeah, if you can get a video ad, it's gonna crush and it'll scale. I got burnt out doing video ads. They took a long time, and text still worked better for me. So by the end of the year, I had a lot less video ads, and that means I could make a Canva ad in like 20 minutes, publish it the next day. felt so much better, right? So more is not better. I did less ad testing. I focused on what worked, which for me was a lot of still image ads. Second thing I did was less content. And I actually made this change towards the end of the year, but I started noticing it at the start of the year. Was I was doing 2 YouTube videos a week. And for me to do that, that required me to have a whole day on Tuesday to film videos. Okay, so I would legit block off the entire day and be like 2 YouTube videos and maybe like 5 reels, maybe some other carousels and stuff like that. It was just a full content day, no calls. By the end of the year, I dropped it to 1 YouTube video a week, and I noticed that my views per video went up. Okay, so it was like, oh man, this actually looks better. My account looks better from the outside because it's getting more views per video, where like at the start I might have gotten 100, 200 views for video. When I changed and did 1 video, there were some weeks where I'd get over 900 or 1,000 views per video. And I could also make a banger video because I didn't have to go from 1 video right to the next one. If you guys have seen my videos, they're all 20 to 40, 50 minutes. So like that's a long time. And if it's not good because I'm tired, it's not going to get views, it's not going to get clients. All right, so I cut back on that, saved me so much time. I also noticed with my content, same thing with ads, is that talking head reels for me didn't work as well as carousels did. The still image or just like, text-based posts worked way better, got more engagement, more likes, more shares, more saves than talking head videos. So I cut back on those. I let go of the videographer who was coming in and filming sessions with me once a month. I absolutely hated those sessions, if I'm totally honest. I hated it. I did not want him to come and film me. I just didn't want to. It was a lot of energy and I was exhausted the rest of the day. There's a level of like, you got to kind of deal with it, but also you want to build a business that you love. So for me, I really like writing Twitter posts, carousels, even though my Twitter doesn't have any followers. I have a lot on Threads now, and repurposing those into posts. And I like YouTube videos, okay? And I like running ads. So those are the things that I'm doing more of. And I'm doing a lot less talking head reels. I just could care less for them, okay? Some people that works really well, they love it. So I'm not saying don't do it. I still do it because it is important to see my face and build a relationship with me, not just see text, right? But you'll also build a relationship with me if you watch these YouTube videos, if you come to my master classes, etc. Okay? Which, perfect segue, I also did less master classes. These are really helpful at warming people up, helping them build a relationship. But again, it was burning me out of like, I had to prepare the email sequences, the landing pages, all of the stuff to get people to go. And we could get 200, 300 people registered for a masterclass, which I was like stoked with. But again, I felt so tired from it that it didn't give me a lot of energy. So I dropped this from doing this monthly to every 2 months. And now, because I do believe in them, I think they're very valuable, I can also hit them with really good energy and not get burnt out and tired by doing them so frequently, okay? So that's what I learned in Q1. Again, I was experiencing burnout and I really just cut back on the stuff that doesn't matter or like I thought mattered but didn't, okay? So staying that singular focus was continued to be reinforced throughout the year, and it started in Q1. All right. Q2, it's gonna be fun. Okay, so like I mentioned, I felt burnt out. So one of the first things I did was, what can I get off my plate? And I hired an agency in Q2 to run my ads for me. Up to that point, I had been running my own ads and it didn't work, okay? It didn't work at all. I was really sad because I loved the team I was working with, but they weren't giving me a return on investment. So I couldn't keep paying them if I was running them and I was getting better results. So after 4 months of working with them, trying to improve the campaigns, I had to let them go. So I took that back on. And during this time period, because I was paying them out, I was paying the sales team, paying the fulfillment team, all the stuff, we were having a hard time with profitability. And this was all my fault, okay? Again, this is my fault. First time I had a 7-figure business, like a real 7-figure business. Before that, I had some just simple contractors. Now I have real team members. I had to actually pay a team consistently, and I had to learn my lesson, okay? Now, let's say that, but I was always profitable. I haven't actually not been profitable a month, so I'm very grateful for that, but I'm also really into numbers and stuff like that. I want to be 30% margin plus, and there were some months in here where we were like 5, 10% margin. And I'm like, man, if we have a bad month next month, we're going to be in the hole. And I don't want to be in the hole, especially because it's a lifestyle online coaching business that should be high margins, high fun, right? So profitability was not good. So I reevaluated my operational costs and margins, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then the second thing I did to improve margins outside of because you're going to improve margins by reducing cost and increasing prices. So I improved my margin by looking at operational expenses, which we'll talk about in a second. And then I also increased our prices and added more support for our clients to match the price increase. But I increased the prices more than what it cost me to add the services or the more touch points to our clients so that I could boost margin. Okay. So the lesson for this quarter was to track better numbers. Again, I'm a big data nerd. If you guys work with us, you'll be like, Matt, there's so many tracking sheets. And I'm like, there's not enough tracking sheets. No, but really, you don't need to track as much as I track. I track a lot of stuff. But one thing I was not tracking at the start of the year was my true customer acquisition cost, or CAC. And I definitely stole this from Alex Ramosi. He was talking a lot about it this year, and it just clicked for me. Before this, I was only tracking my customer acquisition cost as how much money I put into Facebook to get a client. Okay, and at the start of the year, it was around $1,200, $1,500. Now it's between $2,000 and $2,500. Our price has also increased, and the market's got more competitive. So it costs us more money to get a client. But what I was not taking into consideration with our customer acquisition cost is all the marketing expenses I was making, all of them. Okay, so I put in here, ads is part of the customer acquisition cost, the sales team, both the setters as well as the closers, the marketing team, so video editors, even if it's organic, so organic YouTube videos, organic Instagram videos, a social media manager. If I had someone who's posting on my behalf, paid them $500 to $1,000. All of those are sales and marketing. So what really helped me was to truly have that as a real number is, what is my true acquisition cost? How much does it cost me to actually get a client? Not just from ads. Because with ads, if it costs me, let's just say $2,000 to get a client, and let's pretend my program is $10,000, okay? One of our offers is. That's $8,000, right? If I'm going to pay $2,000, I'm going to get $8,000 back. On paper, that's a 4 times return. That's really solid, right? Still is good. But it's not taken into consideration that a closer is going to get 10% of that. It's another $1,000 that's off of it. We have setters who also work that will get a small portion of that. We also have video editors, all the things, okay? So if you're just looking at how much money to put in, how much do I get back from ads, you're missing a big part of, assuming you have a model like me where you have setters, closers, and stuff like that, you're missing so much more numbers, and it can really mess up what your true customer acquisition cost is. So I started tracking this. I started tracking what is my true customer acquisition cost, and that's adding up all of those expenses and simply dividing them by the number of new clients you signed that month. Okay, so you can do that. So for me, let's use the same numbers. We're gonna put all the money we spent in ads. So if I spend $20,000, $30,000 a month in ads, put that in there. All the commissions that are paid out for setters, all the commissions and base pay for setters, closers, everything in there. All of the marketing costs, all of it, and divide all of that by the number of new clients you sign that month. That is your customer acquisition cost. Now, we want to compare that number to your lifetime gross profit, which is how much money you get paid after fulfillment costs are taken into consideration. Okay? Fulfillment costs are going to be how much you pay, how much it costs you to actually service a client. If you have a $10,000 offer, and let's say you have assistant coaches that service your client, and you pay them for 6 months, let's say $2,000. Okay, that means if it's a $10,000 offer, you pay someone $2,000 or your team $2,000 to service that client, you have $8,000 left over, right? So that would be your lifetime gross profit. Doesn't include your customer acquisition costs. They're two separate things, but subtracting them together gives you actually profit. Okay, if that doesn't make sense, you can message me. Happy to share more about this, but let's keep going into it because it'll make more sense. So what we want to track, instead of just return on ad spend for customer acquisition costs, is we actually want to track your customer acquisition cost. So all this, right, divided by number of clients you sign, to your lifetime gross profit per client. Okay, and we want this to be at least a 3-to-1 ratio. Let's do the same stuff. If it costs me, after throwing in all the marketing, if my customer acquisition cost is $4,000, right, then I want my lifetime gross profit to be 3 times that. Okay, so if it's $4,000 to get a client, I want my lifetime gross profit to be closer to $12,000. And I'm sharing this because when I did this, it wasn't. Mine was not. It was closer to 1.5 or 2. And that was when I was like, oh shoot, I have to change my pricing. I have to change my pricing and I have to figure out how can I reduce my fulfillment costs to improve my lifetime gross profit so that I can actually have a business that gives me, I put $1 in and get 2 to 3 out, not ad spend. Okay. Hopefully you're following. Okay. If I put $1 in to Facebook ads and I get 4 out, that's great. But of those 4, I still have to pay my team. You want a business, not just marketing, a whole business where you put $1 in, all expenses are paid for, right? For the most part, and you get 3 back, 2 or 3 back. That's what you want, right? That's what you want. You want a very efficient vehicle, okay? So continuing on, profit margin for online coaching, a real business that actually has good customer service. Okay, I'm not talking like shitty group calls. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. We want profit margins being around 30-40%. Okay, the last number that I started tracking in here was to try to figure out what my marketing cost plus fulfillment costs. So my customer acquisition cost plus my fulfillment costs. And I want both of those percentages to be 55%. If marketing, all of my marketing budget, like I talked about above up here, let's say it's 20% and my fulfillment cost is 20%, that would be a total ratio of 40%, which is under 55. For me, right now, my number is actually 60%. So I'm still overpaying both marketing and fulfillment by 5%, which again is one of my goals for this year, which we'll talk about later, is to reduce that, okay? Because if marketing and fulfillment costs are 55%, you're gonna have other costs like software, other admin stuff. That's gonna be around 15%, and 55% minus 15% gives you 30% margin, which is what our target is, okay? I can do a whole like longer masterclass or like video on this, but I just wanted to share like what was really helpful for me is to figure out what my true acquisition cost was, how much money I actually made per client that I got, and then making sure my margins were closer to 30%. Okay, cool. So that was Q2. Q3, what we did differently here was we launched a backend offer that was over $10,000 in value for 12 plus months. We doubled down on fulfillment and had the goal of having at least 50% of our clients renew with us in some way. Okay. This helped us stay profitable as we were testing new marketing strategies. And honestly, it really helped us. It really helped us. The lesson I learned, we'll kind of come to the lesson here, and I'll keep talking about this collectively, is that more support for your clients is always better. Because right now we are in this stage of business, like what a lot of gurus, online gurus, or just like marketers have been teaching for a long time is online coaching businesses are really just like client acquisition arbitrage. Okay. When I say that, what we're essentially doing, I just talked about one before, is like, how much money do I put in? How much can I get out? And we're really thinking of it as a transactional relationship where if I can put $1 in and get $4 out, great. But that's becoming harder and harder. And if you guys are already running ads and stuff like that, you know that like ads are becoming way, way harder right now. So one of the changes that we're making here is putting more emphasis in client delivery. Because if we can get a client, get them great results and keep them for a very long period of time, we don't have to spend as much on paid ads, and we can become way more profitable if our marketing budget drops. So we've really focused this in Q3 specifically on building a back-end offer, providing more value, and getting clients really good results so that we don't have to keep playing this client arbitrage game. Because yes, paid ads can be predictable, but still, it's still going to look like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might have a 1 month that you're doing 2 to 3 times on cash, where you put $1 in, get 2 to 3 out. You might have 1 month where it's slow and you put $1 in and you get $1 in cash, and you've got, some contracted value and revenue you're going to collect later, but you're still playing this arbitrage game. And that's going to continue to change into 2025, 2026, and further. It's going to get harder to target. It's going to get harder to advertise. It's going to be more competitive. So you and me have to get better at providing a better level of service to our clients. Okay. So lesson number 3 that we did here was we doubled down this fulfillment. More support is always better. Even on our front end offer, we went from having 1 call a month to 2 calls a month. We went from more of like a do-it-yourself program to a done-with-you program that will actually build the ads, write the ads for you, give them to you, and teach you how to launch them. So we started doing that, where at the start of the year, it was like, here's some templates, go plug and play, and come to coaching calls, and we'll kind of hold you accountable along the way. Now, there's still a big element of that, but we're trying to do more, because if we can get people results faster and better results, then we can keep working with people on a longer term basis. And we don't have to keep playing this client chasing arbitrage game. Okay. I don't want to do that like long term. I'd rather have $100,000 to $200,000 a month in recurring revenue or from clients that already exist versus trying to keep searching for new and new and new. So big lesson in Q3 was just how can we prove client results? How can we have incredible relationships with clients who want to work with us for a very long time? And we also did the same thing with more support is better for our team. So we went from, again, when I started in the beginning of the year, they had one coaching call a month that we give our clients. And then even for our internal team, we'd meet once a week as a sales team, and we meet once a week as a like fulfillment coaching team, all the coaches we have, right? And then we changed that. And everything is daily meetings. We have daily meetings for sales, we have daily meetings for fulfillment. And going into next year, we're actually gonna have weekly one-on-ones with all of the coaching staff to go through their entire client rosters every single week for anyone who's not on track. Why are they not on track? And we're going to make a plan every single week. Okay. Where that has been more monthly, but sometimes things fall through cracks, and I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. And we want to deliver such an exceptional service that we're not going to let that happen. Okay. So we added more support for our clients. We added more support for our coaches so that we can hold our coaches accountable, which once you get into entrepreneurship, you'll realize that if you're having a coaching business, you're coaching your clients. And then once you build a team, you end up just coaching your team on productivity, on efficiency, on KPIs, on things like that. So you're always a coach. It's like I coach my team, right? But just like I did for our clients, adding more accountability, I'm now adding more accountability to our team so we can get better results. It's pretty cool. All right, fourth lesson. This kind of, I kind of just talked about it here, is that client experience plus results are more important than new clients. At the start of the year, again, I focused a lot on new ads, marketing. And towards the end of this year and even going into this year, my emphasis is actually going to be spending more time in fulfillment. Where previously I was like, my job is marketing. So I'm just going to market. I'm going to let the team run the fulfillment. While there's someone still who's in charge of fulfillment, the more value that I can add to the client experience, the better results our clients are going to get, the longer they're going to work with us, etc. So at the start of this year, we were signing about 20 clients a month. We increased our prices. We actually, by the end of the year, doubled our prices. So when we doubled our prices, the number of clients we were signing dropped in half, okay? And with our new price point, because we needed to stay profitable, like I talked about in the quarter before, it's continuing to become harder and harder to get new clients. And even if I'm a great advertiser, like I think I'm a pretty good advertiser. Like I like marketing, I like ads. It still doesn't change the fact that the marketing landscape is changing and even the algorithms on the platforms are changing. So I'm going to spend more time delivering great client results and also creating videos like this to help you guys out and just give away a bunch of free value. All right, now jumping into Q4, last quarter of the year. This one was really fun for me. So the emphasis here was actually more on me and less on the business. Okay, in Q4, I traveled to Italy for 10 days. It's freaking awesome. I loved it. I'll probably make a video about that in the future. I joined a mastermind. I spent $30,000 for a year to join a mastermind. Honestly, it was like once I invested that money, I was like, I'm all in. Time to like build. And you can ask my team since then, I've been like just in building mode. It's been fun again, right? And then I also just really focus on taking care of me. Not only did I join a mastermind, but I hired another life coach, another personal development coach to meet with, to talk about, direction, vision, what I want to do, stuff like that. And I also got a bunch of lab work done. I did a gut healing protocol, and I just focused on taking care of me, better quality food, more sleep. Got an Aura ring this year too. You guys probably have seen it in some of my videos. And I actually track that every day. I actually want to show that to you here in a second because I think it'll be, really, really helpful. Yeah, let me share it in a second. So the lessons I learned in Q4, which is actually lesson number 5, is that having a vision is very important. I experienced burnout, like I said, in Q1 because I was doing a lot. And then even throughout the year, I was kind of still like testing, doing things, getting things off my plate. But I didn't have a really good, clear vision of where I was going. And since I joined this mastermind in Q4 and took some time to travel and do stuff like that, talk to my girlfriend, we're very close to like our next step there. And I've been really thinking about what's the future look like for me. So having a vision is extremely important. And I used to like discredit this in a way because like when I first started business, all the business coaches were teaching me mindset and like goal setting. And I was just like, tell me how to get clients, you know? And I launched my current program more off of the strategy and less off the mindset. But then I realized that for me to go from where I'm at now to double, my mindset has to change again. And I needed a vision to do that. So that's what a big emphasis for me. And let me just show you how I've been doing this now because I think this is really cool. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so I have a daily and weekly journal prompt that I fill out every single day or week. And it's really cool. Okay, so this is my daily journal prompt. All right, I put the date in, I put my body weight in. I have like some non-negotiables that I'll check off. Did I stay on my diet? Did I drink alcohol? Did I meditate yesterday? And did I journal? Okay, there's like my 4 non-negotiables. And then I will also put in information like my bedtime, my wake time, how much sleep did I get? I have an aura ring, so I'll put in my sleep score, my readiness score, my activity score. Then I also have some subjective information in here of, how well did I show up for Claire, my girlfriend? Okay. How well did I show up for my physical and mental health? And then how well did I show up for business? And then I have these little sections here where I can take notes on the relationship. Hey, yesterday was really good. We did this thing together, and this thing came up that actually caused some tension between us. This is what we did and worked it out, right? Physical health. Today's New Year's. Today's January 1st. So yesterday we went out. I had a couple drinks, and I didn't feel good after my drinks, right? And I'll write all that stuff out. I'll write the thoughts that came through my head. I'll just journal about those stuff. Business, same thing. Hey, yesterday was New Year's, blah, blah, blah. I was able to get this done. I had to reschedule the day I was supposed to shoot my YouTube video because blank, right? And it just is a place for me to reflect and review what I'm working on and what's important to me. Then it's like, am I proud of yesterday? Yes or no? Things I'm grateful for, at least 3 things. And then this is brand new. I just added this maybe 2 weeks ago. And I just want to show it to you because I think it's so cool. Okay. So once I've done these things, which is more of my journaling and scoring of things, I then will review these 3 things. Number 1 is my goals. This is where the vision came in, and this is from Brian Mancata at adspend.com. I recently joined one of his courses, and he had this in there, and I was like, I'm stealing this. And this is my story, okay? This is who I am. This is what I'm working on. This is where I'm going. This is my vision, okay? So this has everything of, Matt Shiver is a world-class marketer, coach, entrepreneur, husband, and father. I'm not a husband. I'm not a father yet, right? But that's where I'm going. And here's what I'm doing, right? My company does $10 million a year. So this is when we're 10x from where we are now. I have a team of 5 coaches. Here's how much money they'll make. Here's my net worth. Here's my YouTube channel. I get married to Claire. We have 2 kids. We have a 4-bedroom home. Here's everything. Here's the workout equipment in the garage. Like I'm trying to create the vision of where I'm going, right? This is the backyard. We have date nights, blah, blah, blah. I have a nonprofit that I donate 5% of my income to. I take care of my mom, take care of my brothers. Here are just like some labels for me. Here's my story. This starts from like when I first started coaching online to where I did my first bodybuilding show. And then I started my business in 2015. And then since then, all the things that I've done and am doing and will do, my daily non-negotiables, things that I do every single day, affirmations that I can just look at and be like, yes. Okay. So I do that and say, yep, boom, done it. Second thing is I review my offer every day. Here's the type of people that we help. Okay. Here's who we help. Here's their goals. Here's their complaints. Here's an example client. Here's how we help them. Honestly, this helps me get crystal clear because I also get to see, okay, where is the breakdown? Is there a problem right now that I need to solve? Review that every day, okay? Then I will review my war map, which is a Sam Ovens thing that's got my kind of your schedule for your life, your business in there, as well as my Google Calendar to see what am I doing this week, today, what's my main focus. So inside of here, I've got today's the 1st. Here are all the things that I'm working on essentially day by day of big projects I need to complete for me to meet my goals. Okay, so all this is laid out. I say, cool, on track here, great. I've also got a track in here where I have ideas. I actually just did this yesterday, and I have projects, things that we're working on that we're gonna fine tune, right? So one of them is finalizing a 5K intro offer. It's pretty much done. Yeah, these are like the big pillars and stuff I'm working on. Okay, review that and say, boom. After I review all those things, what is my action item and plan for the day? Is there any like short mantra statement that's like, I'm gonna run with? It could be like, I'm focused, I'm excited. Yesterday's was I'm creative, right? So just like getting into that headspace before the day starts. This whole thing may take 10, 15 minutes. You might say, Matt, that's so long. I could be working. I'm telling you, this helps you stay focused, stay grounded, know exactly what you're working on next. It's been such a game changer, okay? So that's what I fill out for every day. And then on a Saturday or Sunday, I will fill out a weekly one. And this is where I take the averages of everything I put in, my averages and reporting on my sleep, stress, workouts, again, relationship, business, how much money I made. And then if there's any trends that I see, did I pay my credit cards? Did I move money around for my bank accounts? Did I review my schedule for the next week? What lessons did I learn? And what's my number one focus? This is keeping me so tight. I'm telling you, this is so helpful. And one thing that I'm gonna potentially look at doing in the future, I actually tried to look at it yesterday, but wasn't successful, is I could feed those answers into ChatGPT, right? The daily and weekly ones, to where it could start to coach me and give me support around the answers and stuff that I put in. Pretty cool. Haven't got there yet. But to summarize that, the lesson I learned is that I need something like that to keep me focused of where I'm going, or I'm just gonna get lost in the sauce. I'm just gonna keep building and keep like running ads, marketing, making videos. But if I don't know where I'm going, it's really hard for me to stay motivated, right? Just like, again, if you're a health and fitness coach, what is your client's why, right? Like we talk about that all the time. What's your why? When things get hard, you got to go to your why. And for a while this year, if I'm honest, I didn't have that. I was like, I just like it. It's fun. I like marketing. That's great. But I didn't have this like strong reason of like, here's where I'm going. And I made a lot of those changes this year, and I feel so much more confident and comfortable and like excited. Honestly, excited is the best way to work and build. And again, you could ask my team. And a lot of this came from me. Like I said, this all kickstarted with me joining masterminds and paying more money and seeing what other top and high level people are doing. Again, I stole this from Brian Mancata at AdSpend. I paid for all these things. This here was another mastermind that I joined, and he had a daily operating system that was like this. I just built it into my own, and I think mine's better. But all that goes to say is that if you have systems in place for you to be able to stay in check and review these things daily, you're not going to get lost in the sauce. You're going to be excited to work every day, and you're going to build. You're going to build your dreams. You're going to build your future, right? And I didn't have that to start the year. Cool? I think it's cool. Okay. So those are the 4 quarters, and those are the lessons that I learned. And here, just to close this thing out, I want to share with you my focuses for 2025. Okay, I put 4 things down here. Number 1 is I want to get my clients better results. Always, I'm very in integrity with the work that I do. We at the start of the year, and we continue to use this as our guarantee, is we'll help you get 20 clients in 6 months, or we'll work with you for free until you do. We've had to change those parameters, or like the things that they do to hit those outcomes, especially in terms of ad spend, because it's became more competitive. So at the start of the year, what would help people get 20 clients? At the end of the year, they needed more. They needed more money. They need to do more posts, more outreach, like not more posts, but more outreach and just more conversations. And I didn't change those in our curriculum. So I'm going through that now and saying, if you want to see this result, here are the things you actually have to do. And here's how we can help you do them easier. So we're building some more processes, SOPs, follow-up sequences, all that for our clients. And those are kind of the tactics we're doing. But one thing I haven't been tracking as well as I'd like to is how much people are bought into the process and are on track to doing the things. What I was tracking a lot of this year was, how much money our clients were generating, how many clients they were signing. And we're still going to track those, but that actually doesn't matter as much as, is someone bought into the process and are they doing what we're telling them to do? Because if they're bought into the process and they're following it, their likelihood of success long-term is going to be a lot higher, right? But if I'm just tracking the results, that can be so skewed, as you guys probably all know, right? If it's fitness, you've got to love the process, because the moment you stop, you're going to, you gain all the weight back. Same thing goes for business. If I'm having these people do something that's not comfortable for them to do long term, it's not going to work. So I'm shifting away from, yes, I'm still going to track the results. We're still going to honor that guarantee, especially for the clients who have it. And I'm going to really focus on having 80% of my clients on track, as in they're doing the things. And every month we have them rate on a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you in your plan this month? I want that to be an 8 or above. And if it's not, then it's our job to help people get there, right? So that's number one. First and foremost, better client results. That's going to make the entire business continue to get better. Number two is to build an internal marketing team. I've actually made both of these hires that are here, a media buyer and a social media manager. Media buyer, that's someone who's running my ads for me. Like I shared, we tried this in Q2, and I actually made one more hire in Q3, and he wasn't a good culture fit, but wasn't able to get that working. I want to find someone who can be in this role long term, and I've got somebody who I'm going to start next week. Really excited about it. We've worked together in the past, and this is going to help me take a lot of the operational day-to-day of going into the ads manager, writing the numbers down, testing different audiences, testing different creatives. Having somebody else who's just as good, if not slightly better than me, is going to make my life so much easier, because that's where most of our clients come from. And if I'm too focused on getting clients better results or managing the sales team, I can't put all my energy and eggs into media buying, but I need that because that's still where most of our clients come from. So yeah, met with somebody yesterday. I'm going to give them a 2 to 3 months stint. Very, very hopeful. I do think it's going to work out, but if it doesn't, fine. I'll just see if we can find someone else. But 2025, I want to find somebody who can do that role better than me, so it gives me more free time. Second one is a social media manager. I have a YouTube editing team. So you guys watch this. I have a YouTube editing team. I have a Instagram reel person who helps me with that. And I have a process for whenever I write Twitter style posts on Twitter to get those repurposed and put into carousels. Then someone schedules them, I review them, they get posted. So we have that. That has been one of our fulfillment, or one of our coaches, our business coaches for our clients. And I recently made a hire to where this is going to be someone who's not a business coach, but somebody who's on our team whose only goal is going to be that. That's very intro level task, is like repurposing stuff, editing, like reviewing stuff and posting it. What I want this person to do long term is I want them to help me come up with ideas for content, do content research. And this person who I just hired, I think is going to be a great fit for that. But first, she's got to prove herself to be able to be competent in repurposing, scheduling, all of that stuff. So if I can build a marketing team where someone's helping me with ideas, someone's helping me with running ads, it's going to, again, allow me to be a little bit more big picture and less of just like in it every day, making sure it gets posted, making sure I make ads, where it feels like sometimes it's more reactive than proactive, okay? All right, number 3 is going to be 30% net profit margins. Again, this year we'll probably finish around, again, 20-25% margins, which is still really good after paying myself, but I want it to be 30% net margins after paying myself. And that's going to be coming from just really making sure that I'm in check with like how my team is being paid and compensated, as well as the R&D, I'm going to call it R&D experiments that we do in marketing, right? Like for instance, for at least 1 or 2 months last year, we spent a bunch of money on YouTube ads. Didn't work, right? We've spent money on some Facebook organic stuff. We spent money on just different types of reels, or like different types of Instagram content or strategies. Happy to do all that stuff while still having that 30% margin. So that should all be taken care of. Also, we doubled our back-end price for our program. Like I said before, at Q3, we launched a 10K plus offer for our back-end. We now have a 20K offer that's going to include live events, etc. And that's going to be happening here, like hopefully starting to be pitched this month. So excited for that. That's also going to really help with our net margins. And then number 4 is taking care of me. Okay, you guys saw my daily journal. It's been really helpful for me of staying focused and staying just like aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to keep getting weekly personal development sessions and coaching just to continue to work on me. Because this is a coaching business, it is a personal brand business. It's not like it's I'm selling, wallets or something. Like people have to know, like, and trust me, and I have to show up for them to do that. And then also taking care of me is to continue to invest in myself and my knowledge with masterminds and prioritizing sleep, okay? And if I can do that, it's gonna be so much easier for me to hit all of my business goals and keep learning and growing so I can keep sharing content like this with you guys, all right? So that's all I got for today. If you guys like this, smash the subscribe button and you'll be getting more videos just like this every single week in 2025. And if you guys need help growing and scaling your coaching business, I'll also have a link below to book a call with my team. And on the call, we'll let you know what we do and we'll let you know if we can help. All right. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys soon.